hostel life builds a lot of strong bonds and friends and everything which comes along with, building that up. Hi guys, today we are here with Shalav. I hope I got it correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Great. So we are here with Shalav, who is from I am Lucknow and is, I think, a finance wizard, you can call him. So, but before I talk a lot more, I would want him to talk about himself. Great. So before you talk about yourself, tell me, what does your name mean?
So actually, my single name, just Shalav, it means nothing. But my
Okay.
entire name, Shalav, it means, a small creature of heaven. So
So
it's
what's
kind
the
of,
whole thing called?
not exactly a small creature of heaven. So, when
Interesting.
my maternal aunt kept it that way. So,
I'm sure
so
this question you would must have been asked by a lot of people, right?
yeah. So I have been asked a lot of people, and to be very honest, I'm not really sure that it means this. But since I've always been told, and I tried researching, but I couldn't find much definitions. So I thought maybe this would have been the right thing.
Yeah, it might as well. It gives an answer to give in interviews, an interesting answer to that matter. So
Yeah.
that's really nice. Great. So tell me, what are you doing these days in your lockdown, since college is over and you are still to start up with PwC? And, so what have you been doing in this lockdown?
So since there's been like a lot of time, so mostly I've been just following up some news on finance, or I'm actually doing some stock market tradings and all. And also I'm helping my father in my family business, so I thought maybe I have learned enough business in school, so why not apply it on the ground level. So I'm helping my
Okay.
father with his business, and also in the free time, I play a lot of PlayStation and guitar. So
Oh, that's
I think
nice.
that sums up my in
Nice.
Corona. So I'm like not actually very tensed about it like how other people are. So it's kind of going on fine.
That's good. That's good. So what games are you playing on PlayStation these days?
Lot of actually. I'm just I think so. I was very lucky. I didn't had a PlayStation, but I ordered it and it came just a day before the lockdown was announced.
Oh,
So
such a
it got
lucky
delivered and sent.
advantage.
That was like really lucky. So then I think I have played some 15 games
Oh, nice.
since
That's
then.
nice.
It's like
Good.
really fun. So yeah.
So, like you also mentioned, you're doing a little bit of stock trading. And also, guys, I'm just telling you, he's a finance wizard. You name an exam and he's done it. MBA तो करी ही है. I am Lucknow से MBA plus CFA plus FRM. What have you left? Tell me, what is left to do now in your finance?
I don't know. I'm looking forward to to become like really good in finance field. Become influential kind of guy in that. So what I am doing right now is to garner as much knowledge as I can, so that when I actually get to work, I can just apply those and keep learning through the practice. So that's what my ultimate aim is, to build a very good career in finance. So I'm
That's so
doing whatever
amazing.
I feel it. Yeah. So,
That's so amazing, guys. We always keep thinking like, should we do extra things on our profile? And once we get into an MBA, so life is sorted. But he's one guy who's made sure, he's constantly learning and, doing all of these things. Was it a challenge to do CFA and FRM both with your MBA, or do you think it is doable?
yeah, it was pretty much of a challenge, because as I said, I am an engineer actually. And engineers, being an engineer, I was never got much. My academics was completely different from
Yes.
finance. Whether it is accounting
Oh
or
yeah,
other
even
lines
I'm
of
an
finance.
engineer. So I remember
Yeah,
first. STEM financial accounting is like such a rocket science feeling at that point of time, and you've managed to do like everything now.
Yeah, so initially for me, when I was working, I was working as a developer after my graduation. So I was like kind of I also read books a lot.
Hmm.
So one book was suggested to me by one of my friend. It was called Economics in One Lesson, and it
Okay.
is by a writer called Henry Hazlitt. It's a 1946 book, but it's a
Hmm.
very very nice book. It has just one line, and it explains the entire economics which is happening in the world in around that line. So it keeps
Wow.
on repeating, and it comes in so beautiful that you get to develop interest in that. So then I developed interest, and then I started following stocks, and then economic times and different economic news. Then I thought maybe I'll just give it a try for cat. Then I
Hmm.
wrote cat. Luckily I got IML. And then after going there again, like in IIM you get like a lot of subjects: marketing, strategy, operations, HR, finance. So out of everything, I was open. Like I was not thinking that I'll have to go into finance,
Hmm.
but I was open to all the options. I'll
Okay.
go and evaluate. That's what my thought was. But then when I started studying finance, was something it really intrigued me. And then I did little more effort. I put in little more effort towards it, and eventually I got really interested into it, and then wrote CFA level 1 exam at that point of time. So it was very tight because IML is known as hell, and it is like very
Hmm.
very very rigorous. You have classes which you have to attend, and then you have this placement preparation which is going on sideways. Then you have clubs, committees. So a lot of things happen like parallelly, and then putting an extra time out for something is really tough. It's really challenging. But then somehow the peer group was really nice. So there was like a lot of people who cleared CFA before or were preparing for it. So I was constantly in help, like what all I need to do. I got some guidance, and then I wrote the paper, and then I cleared it. So I was like really happy. Then similarly, like my follow up began. Like during my internship I wrote level 2 and cleared that.
Hmm.
Then I went for exchange, and there I wrote FRM part 1, and in Paris I wrote my FRM, and that also I cleared. Luckily, I don't know how. So yeah, it kind of happened that way, and gave
So
me yeah, boost. So
I
yeah.
can tell one thing for sure, that guys, he's been saying luckily it's not that easy, that it's only about luck. It's a lot of hard work and efforts also which have gone in to crack all of these exams, whether it's CAT, FRM, CFA. So don't leave it on luck, huh? Please work hard. Don't just, I'm pretty sure he's just being nice, huh? I was lucky to get in. I'm sure you would have slogged with your work to prepare for CAT. It would not have been an easy task.
Yeah, it was like really tough task, working parallelly, and I was like really into it because when I developed interest, I actually did MBA. I was earning well before MBA
Hmm.
also, but then and it was kind of nice working as a developer. But then I got my interest really much into finance, and that is what like kept motivating me that I want to explore MBA. And then working alongside with job, I was working at Samsung R&D at that point of time.
Hmm.
So in Samsung, you have to log in like 9.5 hours daily. So that's a kind of
Yes.
strict rule they have. So then squeezing in an extra time for CAT, and then you have like CAT. I think it's mostly about mocks because being an engineer, I didn't had much problem in quants or whether it was logical reasoning. Little bit challenge was there in verbal, but then I was reading books and stuff, so that made it easy as well. But then mocks and analyzing mocks was a tough task. And
Hmm.
yeah, luckily I got it, and gave around 30-40 mocks.
Wow.
And
Okay.
yeah, gave around 30-40 mocks, and then finally the D-Day came, and I did decent enough to get IML.
What is decent enough? So what was your CAT percentile?
So mine was 98.87. I didn't cross 99, even though I was getting good scores in mocks, but I couldn't get beyond that. Yeah.
So guys who are listening to
But
us,
I was lucky that I got called.
I'm just saying is like, guys who are listening to
I
us.
didn't get you. What?
So I was saying that the guys who are listening to us right now, it's, a decent score, 98.87, because our star out here, he's from NIT, and IITs and NITs, it's like, you have to aim for 99. nahi to it's like, yeah, theek hai, okay, aa gaya hai, right? 98.87
Uh,
would be such an amazing score.
yeah, but like if you compare yourself, like my peer groups, there were few people, two or three people
Hmm.
who got even better than me. So I would say for me it was decent, but yeah, it's a good score.
Nice. That's nice. That's very true. It all depends on your peer also. When you are in the cream layer of peers, you obviously are more competitive and all of that. So that's nice. So tell me one thing. How was this transition from, I think you're from NIT Suratkal, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So, I have heard, I've not been to NIT obviously, but I have really heard a lot that NIT Suratkal has an amazing campus. You have your own private beach and everything. And from there, you're going to Lucknow, which is in UP. So, what was this shift of two campus lives? Like, which one would you love the most?
Yeah, that's a very tough question actually to answer because both of the campus were like really great in terms of their own, prospects and opportunities which they offer. They are like very different peer group, but each with their own advantages. But just going on infrastructure wise, then obviously IML has more facilities compared to NITK. But then the beauty which lies in at NITK was, the beach, as you said. We
Yeah,
got a private beach, so we used to just go out on beach anytime in the night, whether it was 2 p.m. or evening 6 p.m. Anytime we can go and we
yeah,
can
wow.
chill, hang out with friends. So NITK was like, it was actually an engineering is like 4 year course, so you get like lot of time to discover yourself. But when you go to IIMs, you get like 2 years, but it's very short. It's like, it passes just like that. For me, I didn't even realize that I got graduated. So, but yeah, IML campus was better in terms of facilities. I also like playing snooker actually,
Okay.
billiards. So, in NIT, there was no snooker table, but in IIM, there was. So
Wow.
yeah, so there was like few things which were better in IM and few things which were better at NITK, but both were like really good
Lovely.
campuses.
So, one more question that comes to me when you say this is like, so we always say that hostel life builds a lot of strong bonds and friends and everything, which comes along with building that up. What would you say? It was the 4 years of hostel life at NITK better or IML?
As I said, in NITK you get like lot of time, so it's 4 long years. So you kind of stay longer time with the same people. But yeah, I mean, you get to know like lot more. I mean, you have like, some, how many, like each
Hmm.
year has around students. So, and at that point of time in IIMs, usually people are more competitive than what you get in your undergrad. So, making friends and do hanging out was same in both the cases, like night outs where you
Hmm.
play cards and have fun with your friends or do whatever thing you want to. It was same in both the campus, but the kind of friends which you make is different because in at IML, what I saw or what I got very good friends actually over there. So it was like short interaction for around 1.5 year, but we developed a good bond. But the bond which I developed with my undergrad friends was a little more stronger because I
Yeah.
spent more time with them. And I am like, you don't get much time to hang out, but that was not the case in
True.
NITK, where engineering is like very light kind of thing
Yeah.
nowadays, especially if you're not interested that much. So yeah.
That's being very honest. You otherwise keep saying when you are doing engineering, you'll crib and cry that this is so hectic, this is so bad. But once you're done with that and with an IM journey, I'm sure engineering feels like yeah, time passed. It was so we had so much free time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Engineering felt like after I went to IML, I thought like, where I have I came in the start, like there was some 3 days
Hmm.
induction. So that induction was like really, really hectic actually. We were wearing coats in 50 degrees Celsius in Lucknow,
My
and
God.
our seniors, and yeah, and actually my hostel was the farthest from the academic block, okay?
Okay.
So my seniors, they sent me 2 times back just because I was wearing a tie which was having a little small polka dots, and then I was wearing a socks which was not pure black. So that was kind of a rigorous task. But then eventually I got used to it, and then I realized that this has some different fun to it, different ring to it. So yeah, both the campuses was
Nice.
like really good, and the life was enjoyable in both of them.
Nice, nice. That's really nice. So, like you say, that the rigor and it's more competitive. Now, from I'm Lucknow, when you went to Paris for your exchange semester, how was the difference there? Are they also that competitive and rigorous, or it's more chill there?
No, 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 no. Compared to us Indians, I think French people are very light. I mean, there was no competition actually.
Hmm.
I was most of the subjects which were taught over there, I had already studied. So it was very easy for me. And actually, exchange term, IM students or any MBA student go mostly because they can roam around. So
Hmm.
for us, for my college, it was like 15 days class, then 15 days holidays. So during
Okay.
my exchange program, I covered around 13, 14 countries across Europe. So it
Wow.
was more or less like roaming around and seeing different people. But it was really, really a good experience because I did a lot of things which I have never done before. If you're a student and if you go to exchange on a loan, it's kind of very, you feel very poor sometimes. But then I don't follow football much, but then I went to watch a match and it was a costly ticket, but then I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was a Madrid match, but it was such a beautiful experience. The crowd, the game, it was so amazing. And after that, I started following football also. So
Oh, that's
it's
nice.
like, yeah. So exchange was like one of the best part in the MBA for me.
And I like the fact that you mentioned that you feel a little poor, but I think that makes you enjoy every minute and every bit of it out there because you don't want to waste anything.
Exactly, you are perfectly right. So yeah, you become more spendthrift, but then you get the maximum value out of it, like how a
True.
business guy will do. If
Yeah.
you invest 1 rupee, you get the maximum out of it.
That's really nice. So that's like been such a nice journey all together from here, and then now you're going to be joining PwC, which has been like such a smooth dream kind of a journey out there. So when you were a kid, did you ever think at that point of time I want to do an MBA and I'm Lucknow, or was it with the flow that you started gaining that up?
Can you pardon? I was not able to hear you.
Okay, so I was saying that, like you mentioned, MBA came into you from when you were engineering. You decided about MBA and then you went into finance and all of them. So now do you like kind of have this kind of thing that, why did I do engineering? That kind of comes in ever, or you have like, no, it's a part of the whole journey.
No, actually, I was when I was a child, I was always interested in maths.
Hmm.
So doing engineering was kind of the right option for me, right choice for me, even at that point of time, because I always enjoyed technical things. Like I used to fix my dad's computer when I was like
Hmm.
on sixth or seventh standard. So since then I got interest into technicals and computers and maths and science and etc etc. So doing engineering was right, and it actually made me much more technically sound. I know, like, what things to use, what tools to use, which can give me much better
Correct.
results. Like if you say,
Hmm.
let's say if I am analyzing stock, so I can use Excel or I can use Python or I can use R. I have like all the three skills. So majorly Python and R, it's more of a coding thing, which is not very, which I mean, which doesn't come very naturally to non-engineers who have not, been
True.
exposed to coding.
Coding.
It might take some time for them. So doing engineering was actually right choice at that point of time, and doing MBA also was, I think, even a better choice. So definitely.
That's really nice.